Hey everyone, today I'm popping in to just give you a super quick 15-minute scrap busting project, a shoulder strap pad. I get requests for something like this in the Facebook group a ton when it comes to the H2O to go, because as you know, these bottles can get heavy. And some people are using a 1-inch strap, or they just want the little extra cushion for their shoulder. And if you do a simple Google search for a padded strap, it's all finished with binding. Almost all the tutorials I came up on were with binding around the edges. And I know that my people, you guys don't like binding. So if it's gonna be seen on the exterior of a bag, because binding on the inside is a good thing. Like, don't let that scare you. But binding as a main focal point on a project on the exterior scares a lot of people. So this one is a straightforward project with no binding. Comes together in 15 minutes. Get out those scraps. Let's do this. For today's tutorial, I'm doing straight quilter's cotton. So the back sides have already been fused with a woven interfacing, but I've also made it into straight waterproof canvas, and then I don't do any additional interfacing. But you'll notice on one of these main body pieces, I already fused foam to the backing. This one I got from Joann Fabrics. It's a Pellon product. It's FF78F1, and it's a one-sided fusible. So you can get the naked foam as well, and then we're still gonna go ahead and do like a quilting just to keep it in place. So it doesn't necessarily have to be fusible. It's just, I like that it keeps it in place for when I'm gonna kind of quilt on the back side of this. So you just got the 4 pieces, a front and a back, and then this is the little sleeve that the strap will pass through. So this is like a 5-minute project. We're gonna go straight to the sewing machine, and I'm probably not gonna leave that because we're just gonna do it straight through. All right, I'm gonna start with that little pass-through sleeve portion first. So I'm gonna lay these right sides together. And I have these 2 different prints, mainly if you want like this to be your coveted designer print, you're really only using just a very small portion, and then you can kind of use their solids to be more cost effective. So I just chose to do, you know, the black for the underside, and then this will be the top of the sleeve. So lay them right sides together, and we're just going to sew the top short edge and the bottom short edge a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're not going to do anything with those sides. All right, so then I'll take it to my ironing board here, and I just press the seam open real quick. I don't want to form a crease on this rounded edge. I just want to press these open, both sides. And then turn it so the right side is out. And give it a press again. All right, so now I'm going to sew an 1/8 inch from these seams on the top and the bottom, and then I usually go a 1/4 inch below that as well. So now we're going to take the one without the foam on the back, and we are going to find the centers. Fold this in half and find the centers as well. And with the right side facing up, we're going to center it along those, the raw edges along the center of this. We're just going to base that in place. Okay, so this is the front portion. And now, because we are going to turn it right side out, there's no binding in this. I'm going to just do that quilting that I mentioned before. So we can do the like diagonal lines, you can do an X, you can do whatever you want. Just to keep things simple, I don't even mark it out, but I'll just go and do a zigzag. So I don't have like threads to snip and clip. All right, so now we got this and this piece. We're gonna lay them right sides facing, just like this. And I'm gonna sew with the front side up because I'm going to leave a hole for turning along the center portion here, but I do want to come up onto the portion that has the sleeve, because when I turn it right side out, I don't want to have, I don't want to stop all the way up here. So I'll come maybe a 1/2 inch up onto these portions and sew around the perimeter. So for this portion, when we add them together, we are sewing a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm a 1/2 inch up onto the sleeve there. We're going to start here. And another 1/2 inch, back stitch well, and stop. So now we're just going to trim this down to a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but I don't trim the open portion. Using some pinking shears here. You can use regular scissors if you'd like. Now we just turn through the hole we left. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a nice press there. And then we're just going to tuck our hole inside. Keep them lined up. Okay, so now we're just going to do our final top stitch. We're going to go an 1/8 inch all the way around the perimeter, and try and get these lined up really well, because you want to get close to the edge, but you don't want to like not catch the backside. And I would say this portion is the bulkiest area, so you might want to hand crank over these spots here. So it gets kind of thick there. See, a little thick. Probably I also have a dull needle. Doesn't help matters. All right. Super quick. Kind of a scrap busting project. Done. All right, so I lied. It was 9 minutes, a little bit more. But now, because the H2O to go as written, we have swivel clasps. This is something that you're going to want to make for this style strap. If you're putting the straps already and sewing them into your bag, you're going to have to thread this on before you put them into your bag, and then it's not removable that way. But as of right now, because the straps are all this way, it's not an issue for me to just swap it out from bag to bag or even change it out based on my mood. But you just slide your swivel clasp through that. There's plenty of space through there. You can use a 1-inch strap, 1.5-inch strap, a 2-inch probably would still even fit. So keep that in mind. If your bag straps are fixed, you'll have to add this. You'll have to have this made before you get to that step in the bag making process. But voila! Here's just an example of the different quilting I did. This is obviously the quickest because you're just going like this. You're not snipping threads. Here I'm snipping threads here and there, and then obviously all of those I'm snipping as well. So that takes the longest, but it's pretty cute. If you want to eliminate the quilting because you're using a fusible foam, certainly an option.